All right, Toon Army, Tuesday night is here, and that means it's time for you to express yourself.
Right, who's going to pay for that? You daft get!
Let your true feelings show.
Get back in Egypt, alright? Tell that young flip he's a dead man, alright?
Oi, keep it friendly, you twats. This is a family show, have you know? Sorry about that. Let's enjoy the Toon Review Fan Forum. Here are your hosts, Paul Ditchburn and Billy Bob Trey.
Good evening, everybody on YouTube, or if you're listening later on a podcast, good evening and welcome to the Toon Review. Unfortunately, we were a bit late tonight kicking off because, I forgot what time it was. And I've quickly had to set up. I've just took my insulin and then decided to put the needle right through my finger as well. So it's a beautiful evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful evening. But, hey, never mind. Me and Billy Bob Coleman are with you for the next hour or so, hour and a half for the Fan Forum. And a lot to talk about today. By the way, a massive thank you to everybody that's watched the video that I released earlier on today regarding, obviously, Gabriel. What's his name?
Gabriel Angel.
Angel Gabriel, yes. He's the Angel Gabriel may be coming to Newcastle, but who knows? Now, as usual, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. It does help us with YouTube and the search results. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. We are so close, guys. We've had a massive influx of new subscribers to the channel. We are currently sitting at 14,922. So we've had a massive influx of subscribers again over the last few days. Thank you so much for becoming part of this community, which means we are only 78 away from the magical 15,000. And if you'd asked me that when I started this channel, never in a million years. The link is pinned at the top of the live comments if you want to come on and have your say. We've got 4 in the green room at the minute, so plenty space for you to get yourself on. And the King of Qatar has a big surprise for you. But straight off the bat, Spike Milligan, thank you very much for your £20 super chat. Evening Toon Review family, hope everyone's good. Time for topical fun and laughs. Indeed it is. Rachel, someone else has just appeared. Oh, Rachel's not here tonight. Damn it. It's pointless even telling her because she's at our show, isn't she? So, yeah, I'm sure she'll watch the rerun though if Francisco's on it. You know what I mean? There you go. Couple of comments before we get going. Tony said, after watching Paul's video earlier, and he looks one hell of a talent, we probably need to tell Villa, watch that Santos is the team, not the player again. Yeah, absolutely. Geordie Rick, evening all. I think this is Fez. He's in the green room. So yeah, he's coming on, making his debut. Geordie Metal, good evening. Angelo Gabriel does, lol. He is. Roy, how's it gan, says up the A1. Well, Roy will be on us very shortly. You'll not recognize him. Good evening, Barbara. Roy says, I think Paul forgot the link. No, I didn't. I just forgot the whole show. But never mind. We move swiftly on. I've had a busy night. I've been dragged back to IKEA and all sorts. But I managed to get my new iPhone, which, the 14 Pro, which I'm quite liking. Nice and small this time instead of a big, heavy thing. Let's have a look. Jules says, we need to remember we focus on NUFC. Let them live rent-free in our heads. Well, there's certainly a lot of fans doing that at the minute. Spacebar, good evening. Richard Keys, what a bell end. Well, nothing changes there. Good evening, Ian. Roy's gone. Well, he's not. He's there now. Jason said he's been at it hard for over 12 months. Tony, he's dedicated for sure. I'm not sure what the hell that's all about. Spacebar says Gorilla Hands is a FUD. I'd agree with that. 100%. 100%. Darren says, has anyone seen much of the Brazilian kid? Honest, all these links to class young wonder kids is like Championship Manager 3 or 4 and signing Diego from Santos. Loving it. Yeah. Well, there's plenty on the internet about him. Billy, have you seen much of him?
Yeah, the fact he's played 92 times for his club and he's only like 17, 18 is remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
The kid's got lots and lots of growing to do, lots and lots of learning to do, and lots and lots of improving to do. And he already looks pretty shit hot now, let's be honest.
Yep, absolutely. Dave says, still seeing finish top 4. When will you all believe me? How are the lads? Jason says Samba Saudi Mags. Well, that's how it's looking at the minute. Julie J, good evening to you. Good evening, Divine. Spacebar says, I honestly think the South American market we should have tapped into a while ago. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Rochi, good evening. Matt Fletcher, good evening to you. Wes, good evening. Hope all the TTR fam are well. And hello to the mods. Well, have I gone fuzzy?
No, you're all right.
I'm all right at the minute, okay, because my internet bar's down to 1. So, yeah, it's not very good out around. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's gone back up. Gary says, I think reading the FFP rules, if they're under 19 and stay at the club for 3 years, they become homegrown players. Yeah, it's something like that, definitely. George, good evening to you. Hope you're well. Mark Cooper, good evening. Aaron says, teams shitting themselves. All the pundits starting to say Newcastle will be in Europe next season. Just add Madison and Trossard and a couple of young Brazilians, and we go. Effing class, he says. Norvik, good evening to you. Tony says, I think there is a lot of a sort of fast track for young South Americans trying to get a visa to play in the Premier League. Could be, but listen, Jordy Howieman says, Brazil is our new feeder country. Paul is cranking up the internet for tonight's show. Yes, indeed. Never mind. Everyone's shouting at me saying I'm late again. Whatever. Jordy Metals has just been looking at the videos of Angelo Gabriel. Unbelievable skills. In 2 years, he would be world class. I hope we get him. Well, apparently, Billy, it's all been agreed. There's a fee being agreed, but you know, it's not 100% confirmed.
No, but there's no smoke without fire on this one. I don't think there'll be any lies being spread from that side of the world. I think it's I think it'll be in come January. Where he goes, I don't know whether he goes to the youth squad or has to go straight into the first team squad. I guess that's down to how Eddie sees him, how his fulfillment's been, how he's growing. You know, is it full height yet? Probably not. So I imagine we'll see him in the youth team for a bit first. But yeah, looks like a great player to me. I've got to say on the little clips I've seen. Absolutely.
Yep. Mark says, Susan, do you have in the future plans for TTR travel mugs? Be meant to have one when traveling up and down the country with my crane showing on the dashboard. She's just shouted yes from the next room. So there you go. She does have plans for it. Right. Let's bring in some of the rabble, shall we? See what's going on here. We've got, well, are you waiting for this? Ladies and gentlemen, Roy Caviani, the King of Qatar. Look at that.
And it's not photoshopped.
That's Prince Nassim Hamed.
Yeah.
Miggy Amaron, Miggy Amaron.
Got a bit of Javier Bardem about him as well. Bit of Javier Bardem about him.
Yes. Well,
I had to do it. I had to do it because I said if we win, beat Spurs.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I was jumping, and then the lads in Doha Mags are like, Roy, you do realize I have to shave. Oh, bugger. So I just shaved about half an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
So it
wow.
takes about an hour to grow.
Yeah. Arturo, thank you very much for your 10 euro super chat, matey. Much appreciated. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Next, we've got Annie, who's looking a bit distressed. Jack, Fez, the man with the voice of a million dreams.
Yeah,
Francisco is here, and I believe a debut for Beetle Greg 07. What is be thy name, Beetle Greg? Is it just Greg?
Hello. My name is Beetle Greg 07. Most people call me Greg.
Nice one. We'll call you Greg in that case.
All I just want to say is, lads, we're still fighting for this title.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
We'll have a bit of that.
That's
absolutely. Absolutely. James Mann, thank you for your £5 super chat. Good evening, Paul, Billy. And he's also included Roy in that because, you know, he's probably wondering who that stranger is with, you know, normally we do the fan forum. We've got the Qatari Santa Claus sitting there, but it's all changed all of a sudden. Well, we'll just roll with it. Francisco, how are you?
I'm great, lads. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we are good. We are good. How's life over there in Puerto Rico?
Very hot. It's over 95 degrees daily over here. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's hot, man.
Yeah, but it's
it's
nice.
a lot. It's a lot less than here. It's a lot more
How
than
they
here, I
do
should
it
say.
down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
The what?
Pork Pie, good evening. I've been looking forward to the fans forum show. John Mitchison, even though all the so-called punters are now all praising Newcastle, they now realise something big is going to happen. Absolutely. And Annie, you've come out with some comments over the last few days, realising that Newcastle United are a serious force to be reckoned with. Would you like to just confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm that was me. I was not hacked by anyone. It was me. Yeah.
Can you speak up a bit, Annie? I can hardly hear you.
That was me.
Yes.
That. Yeah. Sorry, the mic's a bit far away. Yeah, I do genuinely believe that. Do feel like the Newcastle now, after if you'd lost to United and Spurs, I'd have been like, you'd be, what's the word? Is it a flat track?
In a normal position.
Which is a flat track bully, where you beat all the teams in the lower half, but you'll finish top half. You'll finish around there. But now you've not lost to United, again drawn to City and beaten Spurs. Those are three of the teams I reckoned would have been like up there this season. Maybe not United, but you know what I mean. Like top six, definitely. But not lost any of them, and that's quite a statement of intent. And yeah, do you feel like you're going to remain competitive the rest of the season? But probably not top four, but definitely I think top six.
Annie, I think even our ex-players are doing quite well. I mean, I saw a certain Mr. Cavill not winning Saturday.
Who?
Mr. Cavill, he not winning Saturday, didn't he? I don't know who they're playing against.
Get lost. Mate, I'm fed up with this club. Honestly, just fed up.
Is that you on a little dig at Bristol City there, Billy, by any chance?
Just a little tidy one. But Mr. Bruce is available, Annie.
Yes, he is.
It was literally 35-year-old Shane Long outpaced our best centre back.
Yeah, that's not really good, is it? That's not good. Spacebar says, would the real king of Qatar please stand up? Stephen says Roy went from Nuno Espirito Santo to Pep Guardiola overnight. He does look a bit like Pep, doesn't he?
Yeah, but it'll take about 3 days before I look like Pep.
It's a darker shade, John Joe.
It could be a darker shade of John Joe. Yeah.
You can go like.
Indeed. Samsonite says a shaved Roy in a classic Metallica top. Andrew with his usual comments saying, Annie, are you okay?
No.
Jim says, go on, Roy. Fair play for sticking to your word. Well, it's more of a word than sticking your ass in the camera, that's for sure, but never mind. Fez, good evening.
Don't bring that up.
All right, how's it going?
It's going really well. Now, are you or are you not the man who designed my backgrounds?
I am.
Right. So I've been calling you John for how long now?
Oh, God, months I think now, innit?
20 years.
So is John your actual name or are you Fez?
John's my actual name, but like everybody apart from my parents call us Fez.
Yeah, well, that's all right, because I was worried I've been calling you a completely different name since we started talking. But there is the man who has designed the backgrounds for the studios.
Job.
So very, very talented man is Fez. So thank you for your continued help with that, Fez. So we've got, we've got the Asian correspondent, we've got one of the graphic designers for the channel, and we've also got the voiceovers for the channel. So all three of them are on the stage. Incredible. Anyway, what did you think of the Tottenham game, Fez?
Amazing performance. Probably everyone's saying the best of the season, but I still think the City game edges it, even though we only got a draw, but it's against the champions, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't think anybody had a bad performance. You could probably argue maybe he's Longstaff, but assisted, and then he's worked his arse off, as he always does, to be fair. So
yeah, I thought Longstaff did okay. I'm not going to hammer him. He lost the ball in a couple of times, but look, that's who he is. We just got to put up with that. Jack, what did you think?
It was good. We looked very under control. Spurs couldn't handle us. They handled us in the first 5 minutes, though. I'll give them that. They had a lot of shots, but To be fair, just because they had shots does not mean it tests our goalkeeper.
They weren't really on target. I mean,
no.
Yes, Pope had to make a save. There's no doubt about that. But look,
the Harry Kane one though, I got a bit scared there. But luckily, Pope's just 6'6". He's just massive.
It was very much a David De Gea save, wasn't it? Really, he saved it with his legs.
Yeah, it was. But then we got in control of the game. We got passing the ball a bit more. We got our thinking heads on, and we started moving the ball forward, and we started getting in better positions and closing them down. That's the one thing they struggled with. Obviously, they're playing 5 at the back, so they're 3.
Yeah.
Their back 3 was really, really not on it on Sunday. They made so many mistakes. Eric Dyer nearly got an own goal. They were sloppy at the back. We got on them, and we got a reward of 2 goals. So I think we did good closing down wise. Defense was solid as always. Overall good performance and deserved 3 points.
Yep, absolutely. By the way, Roy's getting an absolute pasting in the comments. I mean, there's some very strange comments coming in. Is it Roy or is it an egg? Somebody just commented saying that it makes you look younger, Roy. It took seconds off you. Matthew said far out. Roy looks about 20 years younger. Carl says Roy's younger brother has turned up. Andrew says, who's the smooth criminal? Is it Annie or is it Roy? So there you go. Gary says, Roy, you look 10 years younger.
Well, thanks, mate.
Stu says, Francisco, the voice. There you go. Ian says, Saudi Aramco need to open up an NUFC-sponsored petrol station and offer cut prices for Newcastle fans. That's been picking up today, Billy. A bit of confirmation that Newcastle may well announce the naming rights to the stadium, new shirt sponsors, etc., before the start of next season.
Yeah, so I guess that puts more money in our coffers, doesn't it, in our financial fair play thing, and we'll be spending big, I think, in the come next summer. I think by the sound of things, it's all positive signs.
Mm-hmm.
Although they haven't actually asked the fans yet, have they? So I'm hoping there's some kind of communication between the owners and the fans about what they want, or in the way of name. Obviously, it's going to be the sponsor at St James's Park, something, I don't know, but we need to be consulted about it, I think. Otherwise, it's just similar to what Mark Ashley did. But although it's not similar in the same way as we're going to get the money from this time and not platitude, really. Yeah. Well, we've got another guest coming on. I can only assume it is our American friend, Jimmy, even though there's no camera on. I'm just guessing by his username. Jimmy?
Are you watching Squirrels?
Oh,
God.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hello. I don't know why there's not a camera on.
Well, I can barely hear you as well.
Let me try this again. Peace out.
All right, I'll see you shortly. That was Jimmy, very briefly. Spoony Seller, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Not too bad.
Good. Happy with the performance?
Yeah. Mint performance. Probably the best performance, I think, of the season. Although it was obviously a tighter game, they had a few chances, but I thought we controlled the majority of it. Legs went a bit at the end, but that's to be expected with 3 games in 8 days or something. So, yeah, really good.
What did you think, Greg?
I tell you what, I work with a Tottenham fan, and every time that Newcastle would play Tottenham, he said, "Oh, Greg, let's do a little bit, 50p. If Tottenham win, you give me 50p. If Newcastle win, or whatever, then I'll give 50p." I've been paying that bastard's mortgage for the last 10 years. All right.
Well,
finally. Anyway, you know how it goes. Finally, the tide is turning, my friends. The tide is turning, and he's going to be paying off my damn mortgage. All right, and all of my utilities.
So what, you live in a skip? 50p? You don't take much of a mortgage.
Well, I tell you what. Last Friday, I did go to sleep in a skip, but that's a completely different story. All right,
Oh, right.
It's like £5.
I don't know what you've heard, but anyway.
Yeah, I need to change my.
Well,
this is a pile of pants.
To conclude, great performance. I can't wait for more.
Excellent. Mr. Francisco, what did you think of that performance?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was, and I agree with Eddie. It was our most complete performance. Even though John, you said the City one was a little bit better, but I think consistency wise, from first minute to 90th plus minute, it was the most consistent one I've seen. My only worry, and I put that in the chat during the review, is, and I don't know what's factoring into this, how late Eddie's doing the subs, giving how our starting 11 are running minutes a lot. So that's my only concern, and it's because of health issues for our boys.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why I think we need a bigger and better squad, and why we'll probably go out and get a few more.
It's
Jimmy,
good to see John Joe
back
back,
with
though.
us?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know why the camera's not working.
Oh, well, I have no idea. Maybe it's the squirrels, mate. I mean, they've chewed through the wires.
Trust me, it's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I mean, the sun is shining. Squirrels are fucking. The
There you go.
I found out today that this damn rooster is going to be gone as of Saturday.
The rooster's going.
Yeah, apparently he's in heat, and he pretty much trying to gang rape another chicken and killed it. So
has he been fucking the squirrels as well?
Right,
enough. Hey, it's mating season here in Georgia.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, why have you got that as your, Jimmy? Why have you got Antonio's name as a little bit of a rude name? But why? What's he done to offend you?
Just being another whiny little bitch like all of them that lose to us.
Fair enough.
I mean, well, it was better than putting Anal Emery up there. I'll start on Villa fans here pretty soon, but another sloppy second that they took from us.
So you're happy with Emery's appointment as well, I believe.
Oh God, he traded in European football from mid-table club, took the money. He's not going to do anything there. I mean, only cup they're going to be lifting is the one they put around their fucking nuts around the game. So, I mean, pathetic fan base. Pathetic coach.
He's gone to Cheesetown.
Yeah, it can be the head of him. It can be the Flamanda cheese.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And what did you think of the Newcastle performance, Jimmy?
It's like smacking babies around. I mean, the baby cries. They did well for the first 30 minutes.
Jimmy, you can't say that.
I know, but it's like look, it's damn culture today. They know what I was talking about. They had their little run for 30 minutes. It's like when the baby starts crying, and then after that, you say, "Look, shut up, smack. We're coming right back at you. And we're gonna shut you up for the next, couple hours." I mean, it was a man. It was a man above a man,
I'll tell you what, Jimmy, Atlanta must have its own laws. By you Americans, man.
Hey, we got the death penalty, okay?
Yeah.
So you want to bitch about Saudi? Come to Georgia. You'll be dying to go to Saudi.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, Jimmy,
we have
just...
laws.
Yes, thank you.
We expect you to abide by them, much like the Middle East. Respect and obey the law. That's all.
And smack babies around.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Roy, what particularly pleased you about the performance at Tottenham? Was it, I mean, obviously Longstaff. I mean, you've been a big critic of his. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I think he gave the ball away a few times, but overall,
yeah,
wow, a good game for him. Wasn't that bad. I think he's I don't know, he's lacking. He needs to carry the ball sometimes a bit and just run with it for a few yards instead of just passing it to the closest guy next to him or back. He did that stupid back pass that caused that Kane shot in the first half.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was just carry it forward or just pass it forward instead of trying to back pass it all the time. I'm sure Eddie Howe will.
Do you not think Eddie Howe's saying to him? Do you not think Eddie Howe's saying to him, "You get the ball, give it to someone that can use it"? So similar to like they used to with Nobby Styles and plays like that years ago. Win the ball, give it to Bruno, give it to Joe Lee.
Well, I think he made some good runs, didn't he? He made some very good runs into the box, and he seems to be combining a little bit better with the likes of with Bruno and also Miggy on the right. They seem to have that understanding. If Miggy sort of holds back a little bit, Sean tends to make the run, and Miggy can flick it down over the top or through the gap. And Bruno's doing the same, and maybe Eddie Howe's working on him with his game in that. And the side of the game that needs improving, I think, is his quick thinking. I mean, Fez, I don't know what you think. I mean, can he become the player he was under Rafa again, or is that time past?
I think so. I think you probably could, based on what Howe's done with Joe Linton and stuff. He's obviously a good coach, so I can't see why not. Like I say, he made a few dodgy passes against Tottenham, but all-round performance was pretty good, to be fair. So,
yeah, I agree. John Clifton, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. He is a tenner for Caviani shaving the beard off. Well, thank you very much. Keith, thank you very much for your £5 super sticker as well, my friend. Much appreciated. Peter says, looking forward to seeing Shelby back on the side. He can help us kick on even further. Yeah, he got a little bit of a run out. I think Jackie's going to be used for the Palace game, isn't he? That's probably when he's going to get the opportunity.
Yeah, for me, John Joe is them players who can, like Bruno on Sunday, pull the strings of the midfield, spray the ball out to the wings and get the attack going. And when he came on for them, I don't know, because he started making subs at like 5 minutes left. He came on, started spraying the ball around, doing what John Joe does. And I think we missed that. We've missed that passing ability of John Joe, and to help, because obviously we know Eddie Howe did say we want to go far in the likes of Carabao Cups and FA Cups, which I agree with, and I do want to get a bit of silverware in these domestic cups. And I think, because I don't know what we'll do against Crystal Palace, because we'll play Southampton away at home, I think, on that Sunday, I think it is. Then we've got Crystal Palace on the Wednesday. So it's either we rest a few players for another Premier League game, or we just go all out. I don't know, because obviously Crystal Palace aren't that bad of a side. They are a Premier League side, so it's whether he'll. I do think John Joe will be involved for the Crystal Palace game. I'd love to see him involved. I think he's come back way quicker than I thought, and I think we've missed John Joe, and I think he will be involved in the Crystal Palace game.
It's going to be interesting, I think, to see what side Palace put out as well, because they've obviously just had a couple of bad results, and then they need to get going again. But whether Patrick Vieira says, right, the guys need a bit of a rest, who knows? I mean, when it's the 9th of November, I think, isn't it? So it's two weeks tomorrow. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what team he puts out. Julie says, please subscribe if you haven't already. Literally a few off 15,000. Goatfather wants to know, Billy, a question for you. You wanted to analyse Botman against Kane. So what was your opinion on that?
I think, aside from Haaland, I think before the game, we'd have said Harry Kane would have given me his toughest game so far. Didn't seem to be that way. He got away from him once when he scored. Obviously, there was a lack of communication as to who was marking Harry Kane. But that was the only time in the game.
It was on Kane, though.
Yeah, the lack of communication, wasn't it? Kane, he's a clever footballer. He managed to get away from the centre halves just the once in the game, really. He was dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. Last year, it was a problem to us. This year, it wasn't, because we had the midfielders on the case. So, I thought Botman did superbly. I thought he really did. I thought he had a superb game. And in the end, he kind of had him in his pocket. Even that big chin of his was in there. So, he must have big pockets.
I mean, he loves his Peter Beardsley impressions, doesn't he?
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, look, I was quite annoyed with Kane on Sunday. I mean, Annie, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I did.
Did you think Kane was a twisty little shit?
To be fair, he didn't have much opportunity, did he? He didn't really have that too many chances against that Newcastle defence. It was only really Son who, in the first 30 minutes,
It was always in ref's ear. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, Annie. Do you not think that people are watching Man United do it and think, oh well, we're going to badger him, and Harry Kane's taking a leaf out of their book, and he's just. I mean, I don't like seeing a guy who's supposed to be England captain setting an example, asking the referee to book fellow professional footballers. I think it's a ridiculous thing to do.
It isn't a good example on probably young kids watching. It sets as you said, he's the England captain. He will be lining up for us in Qatar. He is going to be there. So see him doing this now on TV as well. It's all a bit like, yeah, you could appeal for it, but don't just. There's a protest, and then there's petulance and just going after him, just needlessly pressuring him. It's not only Harry Kane; it's a massive issue throughout the Premier League and probably throughout football. It's not only Harry Kane. We need to try and just eliminate it at a young age. Probably
doesn't help when the manager does it as well. Did anyone
Absolutely.
see that?
Yeah.
Antonio Conte. It's just Antonio Conte. He's just how he is.
Well, he's
similar to Jurgen Klopp, isn't he? It's like you will go attack for him.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's sort of guessing who's going to be the first to have a heart attack between them two managers. Quite honestly. Sorry, Aaron says, has the Trossard and Gabriel price been agreed by both clubs, but need to be okayed? But from what I can gather on the Gabriel side, the Angel Gabriel may well be in January because I've
heard we're in the negotiations.
Yeah, but he has got a £52 million release clause as well. I don't think Newcastle will want to go anywhere near that kind of money. But listen, this guy is different gravy. He really is. Jim says, Roy Cavashelvi. Dear me.
I like my long balls, though.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. Dear God. What's going here? Just switched and seen a babyface Roy. Indeed. Yeah. Mrs. Toon Review says, you're very talented, Fez. Fantastic backgrounds. That is high praise indeed from Mrs. Toon Review, given she likes her graphic designing as well. So high praise indeed.
Yeah. Can I just say, if we get top 4, can Roy shave his eyebrows?
Well, that would.
I'm not doing that. I'll shave my ass though. On camera.
No. We don't want to see any. No talk of asses, please.
I'll play paddle tennis naked or something. Yeah.
Forget what I said. No.
Yeah, Jack, shut up. Spacebar says, if Roy just slaps Annie, he will have been hit by a smooth criminal. Indeed. Andrew says, Roy, you don't look a day over 60. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Frau says it's Joe Rogan on the show. Dear me. Wes says Jimmy in the house. Well, he was. I don't know. He's probably going to murder a squirrel. I don't know where he's gone. Yeah. Pork Pie says, Paul asked the fan forum, how did you feel when the final whistle went on Sunday? It's been a long time since I felt so smug after a win. Well, yeah, I mean, Francisco, how did you feel when that whistle went? And the camera was exactly on the right time on Eddie Howe. He was delighted. But I mean, that away support of the players, it was just incredible, wasn't it?
I was impressed, to tell you the truth, and I'll tell you why. Impressed of how much our boys are holding on the late attacks.
Yeah,
we saw it with the United game. We saw it with this game. We've been holding on either to draws or to wins the proper way, withstanding with good defense. And it was a combination of happiness, impressed, and relieved at the same time, but mostly happy. 3 points is 3 points. So, and where we are right now, in terms of where we expect it to be, in the top 10. By this time, I think that was a realistic expectation by every one of us. But to be fourth, oof.
Yeah.
That's pride in of itself, honestly.
I think there was, for me, doing the commentary on the game, even when Harry Kane scored, and we said this in the review, Billy. We are now at the stage where the opposition scores, but it doesn't worry us anymore. Like if that had been last season, well, it was how it happened last season. Tottenham equalised, and then it all went to shit for us. We conceded 5 goals.
Yeah.
But this time, Billy, we're so much more solid in defence that, and not. I don't just mean the back four either. I mean, as a team, we defend as a unit. You can see when the camera pans down on them, they're in a formation and they're disciplined.
Do you know what? And I said this after the Liverpool game. I said we'll take something from that game. We've not took any points, but we'll take something from it, and we have. With Man United, we looked, apart from that one thing from Rashford, and Sunday we looked in no trouble whatsoever. We're not panicking. We're not dropping too deep. We're defending properly, and I think that's come from that Liverpool game. I do honestly, where we were defending deep, we were waiting for something to happen. An accident waiting to happen. Or the referee played enough time for him to do it, but still got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and eventually they're going to score. That's not happened in the past 2 games where we've been in a little bit of pressure against Man United, but against Spurs, I was in no danger we were going to score. None at all. I was calm as you like, and that's an unusual feeling for me. And all of us, I guess, Newcastle United supporters, hanging on to the lead. We weren't hanging on, were we? We weren't hanging on at all. It was I think that's come from the Anfield game, honestly.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're back with us with a different username.
And
a camera.
I know. Yeah, I had to sort some things out. Router issues. Plus, we got every kid in the neighborhood over here. It's like fucking romper room. So I'm in a good place now.
Okay, so there's a party going on in your establishment, is there?
Yes, there is. There always is.
Absolutely. Fez, who was your standout player on Sunday? If you were going to name one, I mean, I know it's difficult, but
I'd probably have to go with Cher, Botman, or Almiron, probably.
Sorry?
Cher, Botman, or Almiron, I'd say, probably.
Yeah, it was Cher, Botman, or Almiron, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cher and Botman, for me, were just outstanding. They controlled the game. Everything that got thrown at them, I think they were very, very disciplined and stayed very, very tight. And I think that's why, like I said before, we're not looking like we're going to concede a lot of goals now. It's resolute as well, but it's very disciplined. But we now have players there, Jack, that are just so much better defensively awareness of the position, and also very good at defending.
Yeah, because they thrive off clean sheets, and that's what you want in a defender. We're not by I don't know what it is. I think we're so lucky that Eddie Howe can change players into what he wants them to be. Like Fabian Schär did not get a chance with Steve Bruce at all. Eddie Howe comes in, discovers him, and brings Botman in, them two, one of the best duos in the Premier League this season. We're incredibly lucky as well. At the same time, we don't have to go and buy these marquee signings to make us even better. We've already got class players in our squad. All it took was as a manager to come in, change them into what he wanted them to be, and boom, there you go. But I think we're very good defensively. They thrive off clean sheets. And you can see the one against Everton, when we got a clean sheet, I mean, the whole back five were just celebrating together because they're a unit, and it's like their own group, because they're so well, I don't know how to say it, but they've got such a good relationship, that back five, and that's what makes that's what also makes the squad even better.
Yeah,
they're all a unit, the back five, and that's what makes it so hard for other teams like Spurs and Man United to get through us, because we all work together, and that's brilliant for a defence. And no wonder that's why we've got the best defensive record in the Premier League.
Yeah,
not just
Jimmy,
that though.
Is that the rooster?
Sounds like a squirrels.
Why is it such a shit show when I get on here? Kids, chickens. I mean,
squirrels.
There's always something. I just can't come out, relax, like I used to do. There's always.
You bring on the fun, Jimmy. You bring on the fun.
That's why we love you on, Jimmy. Because you never know what's going to happen when you switch your camera on. There's just random animals.
You don't. I mean, it's crazy. But I will, going back to that last question,
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a difference of opinion on the player of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it always starts in the back. And I'm going to say Pope, because at either any of those two shots, those saves he had to make the first of the game, at any of those gone in, it was a different game.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do anything else after that. But when we needed him to make two great saves, he did. And that's, you look at all the great goalkeepers, it's not how many saves you make, but when you make the saves.
Yeah.
And Pope did.
He did. Yeah. No doubt about it.
It's nice. The defense knows that no matter if they do screw up, we've got a world-class keeper in the back that's going to bail us out.
Yeah, he's gained a lot of confidence lately, without a shadow of a doubt. Danielle says, evening all, just popping in to say Jimmy is my favourite. I love him so much. Never change Jimmy, brother.
Oh.
Well, I can't. It's too late. It's too late. I'm too old. I mean, I'm stuck in my ways.
Tony says, obviously raising children in Atlanta, Georgia is a bit different. It certainly seems like that.
Can't. I don't know. We can't slap them or beat them. I mean, we used to get like beaten like hell when we were kids, and we turned out okay, but you can't do that anymore.
No.
Well, you know, the switch, the paddles. I mean, you know.
It's about
What else? A belt, an electric chair, whatever you want.
Toaster in the bath.
We do have the chair still.
Yeah, I know.
Do they not have pacifiers out there anymore? Dummies.
Oh, no.
You brought back bad memories with the switch there, Jimmy.
I know. When your parents tell you to go outside and grab your own switch, you know you're in trouble.
Not good. No. That's mental trauma there, right there.
Just a bit, yeah, just a bit. Danielle also says Jimmy is no longer on anyone's babysitting list.
No.
Yeah.
If you look in our backyard, you think differently. It's like 12 kids back here.
Yeah. Johnny Howayman says Longstaff needs to do some word games, sharpen up the brain box. Dominic says, hey, Paul, what's the chance of Jimmy doing an alternative Toon review voiceover? I think we'll be off the air after about 3 seconds of Jimmy doing that, to be fair.
Hey, let's get down fucking business.
There you go.
Oh, God almighty, man.
You're hired.
Jesus Christ. Oh dear. Matthew.
I've just choked on my food.
Ooh, compose. Matthew says, I've got a sneaky suspicion we will play Burnt and Lascelles centre back and target the left back versus Palace. Probably Fraser as well. And maybe even Wood, with Wilson coming on after Wood does knock for 70 minutes. I would expect a few changes. I wouldn't expect a lot though, because I think you know, Eddie will want to win. He wants to go far in the cup, doesn't he, Roy?
Yeah, I think he'll probably rest. I would say Shah and Botman. Probably 50%, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sure he'll rest Wilson as well. So he'll start with Wood. But he'll start with Miggy and Murphy for sure. They can run all day. Hopefully Maxi's fit for that game, so he might come in the second half as well. And probably target the cells and Burn in centre back again, and probably Manquillo. I hope we see him again, at least.
It'd be nice to see
Shelby
Manquillo,
as well.
actually.
Yeah,
I think Manquillo deserves a game. You know, he's
yeah.
You know, he didn't really do anything wrong when he came in for us last season. But obviously it was the crazy rise of Emil Kraft into form that none of us could see coming. I think that was the issue. PK Invasion says, "I'm here for Fez and his new friends."
It's my brother.
All right, okay, there you go.
They've been winding me up on Facebook.
There you go. Samsonite says, Kane spoke out on something. Did Son lose the leash again? Kane wasn't even their captain. It was Steady Hands Lloris. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm talking about being an England captain and doing that. You know what I mean? He's. I just. What did you think of Lloris's display? I mean, you know, Annie, he was fantastic against Man United earlier in the week, and then he was all over the shop. What did you make of the first goal?
It wasn't a foul. He just tries to buy it. He tries to make it out. Something goalkeepers try to do quite a lot, where they obviously aren't fouled, but they fall on the floor, and obviously VAR and referees give the benefit of the doubt to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. I think the correct decision was made. I know a lot of people, including some high-profile people like Ben Foster, who's actually quite good with his opinions. Normally, he does give quite insightful opinions.
Yeah, he was drastically wrong this time.
So was Mark Goldbridge.
Yeah.
Normally, he's on the money, but this time, no, it wasn't a foul for me. He's just trying to defend the goalkeeper.
So did Mark Goldbridge.
It just isn't a foul for me. Wilson can't get out of the way. He can't suddenly divert right, divert left. He just has to stay there. He stops. Obviously knows goal. Lloris is coming. Tries to minimalise contact. Lloris obviously
the thing is,
and then he scores.
If Wilson hadn't scored that, I would have been quite annoyed if he hadn't given a free kick against Lloris, because he comes out and has no control over himself at all, and he runs straight into Wilson.
Should have cleared it.
Yeah, he made a mistake. He knew he'd made a mistake. That's why he went down like he did, because he tried to fool the referee, thinking, "Oh shit, I've made a hell of an error here, so I'm going to have to put it right by trying to get a free kick." And it was pathetic, to be honest.
I think what worked against him the most was he was outside the box. So that's what helped Wilson the most right there. He came outside of his area. He came outside of the box completely to challenge for that, and he lost the challenge. And
football's a contact sport, and when two players coming together, you'd call that a 50-50. Now 50-50s can go either way, and when Lloris and Wilson are coming together, by doing that, basically as it is a 50-50, whoever wins that battle is the strongest.
You had an ex-goalkeeper like the American one on NBC, Howard.
Tim Howard.
And he's unbiased in terms of his opinion being from the States in that regard, mostly. Sometimes he's biased.
Well, he actually said it's not the Big Six anymore. He said it's a Big Seven.
And he said it was not a foul. And he's a goalkeeper. So who better to give an opinion on that than him in that regard? So
I was a little surprised Ben Foster said it was a foul, to be honest. I really am. I think it's a bit sad in a way. Because
wearing a Newcastle t-shirt as well really annoyed me.
90% of people who saw that said it wasn't a foul. Jamie Redknapp, of course, Bellend.
Spurs.
Yeah, well, of course he's going to say that.
Well,
Fez is having a proper dig at you here, like, isn't he? I love Fez's reviews thus far and his tremendous fisherman's beard. Well, you know what it is? I mean, we're a beard down tonight, obviously, so it's nice to have another bearded man on. You know, Jimmy's there. Ian with his, I can only describe his beard as bum fluff. But Fez, Billy, myself, and Mr. Potato Heat's now shaved it off. So, welcome to the Beard Club, Fez. It's good to have you there.
Cheers.
I mean, you do have a fisherman look about you, I must say that, but it's the hat. It's definitely the hat.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Foxy says, "Hey, Paul and everyone, how come Roy's not on the panel today?" Well, he's been taken over by his baby brother. Spike says, "I thought we were playing at St. James's Park,
Queen.
could only hear the Toon fans." Yeah, they were magnificent again at Spurs, and rightly so. But it was interesting what Callum Wilson had to say, Ian, about the fans when we scored our second goal, Callum came out and said that he could hear the Spurs fans getting on their backs, and that kind of gave them even more motivation.
Yeah. He's just jumping back at talking to Wilson when you were talking about who the best player on the pitch was. He wasn't the best player on the pitch, but I'll tell you what, that finish without looking was mint, though, wasn't it? Left-footed, didn't even look, knew exactly where he was putting it. Brilliant finish. And another player I wanted to mention before as well was Bruno, because he drove down, didn't he? On if reports are right, on his own.
He drove down, the night before, yeah.
So sorry, but it's brilliant. Wilson thrives on any shithousery anyway, doesn't he? He absolutely loves it. He was a massive pain in the arse in that game. I was loving him running around. I was buzzing he got his goal as well, because you could see how pissed off he was getting in previous games that he wasn't.
But that's
scoring.
why he makes such a difference, isn't it? Because he is a very, very old school physical centre forward who likes to get stuck in, likes to make hell for the defenders.
When the foul that wasn't a foul that he scored from. When he actually went in, I think the only thing that people were potentially saying was because he put his arm out. So he did put his arm out. But if he hadn't put his arm out and he'd have hit Lloris like that, he would have probably knocked Lloris back over the net. You know what I mean? Because he's not that big, but he's built like a brick shit house, isn't he? You know, so he was trying to stop himself rather than impede him. So no, it's brilliant. I loved all the interviews afterwards with Mint.
Yeah, definitely.
Asking.
Sorry, Jimmy, go on.
Let's be honest. Who in London really has a top-notch fan base? It seems like the bigger the club,
starting wars
and
now.
Let's be honest. These large, brand new, nice stadiums, they've seemed to lost a lot of their atmosphere. I was lucky enough to go to Highbury. That was the very first stadium I ever went to, and that place was crazy.
It was brilliant.
Because it was so close to the pitch, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Put 60,000 Newcastle fans in that stadium, and it's changed.
Yeah. Hell, you put 10 and they're louder than what they have now. It's unbelievable.
I think that's a good point, and that's what we've got to be careful with. If whatever we do with regards to the stadium,
no, you can't shut a Geordie up. I've already figured
that's a good point. It's
just more people, more alcohol. It's going to be a rock concert every week.
I think that's a very conservative answer about London, Jimmy, considering what you said about Birmingham. I have to say,
I'm gonna give West Ham fans a little bit of a pass because their stadiums, their seats are like 20 miles away from the actual field, so you can't hear.
It's awful.
That's the complete opposite of what Upton Park was like, Jimmy. Upton Park,
Upton Park was very similar to Highbury, wasn't it? You had the fans very close to the pitch, and that's why I would hate to think that we go into if we did, in the future go to a new stadium, and then suddenly you've got that huge space between. Christ, you have to walk a mile from the players' tunnel to the pitch at the Olympic Stadium at West Ham. It's miles away.
I don't think the Saudis are going to be stupid enough to do anything to ruin the atmosphere. They won't put a track around.
No, but I think what they will do is they'll have fan input on it, like they're going to do with the naming rights and things like that.
Have you seen the builders in Saudi Arabia? Wow.
I know, they're incredible.
Amazing stuff.
They'd probably get a microphone sponsor and put microphones on each seat just to amplify it.
Jimmy, does London have any particular smells that you can relate to, or
the beautiful smells of Indian food? I will say that they have some of the best Indian food I've ever had.
Should get yourselves to Bolton.
Should get yourself to Ocean Road and South Shields. Yasha, what a place.
If you want to have Indian food, go to India.
Well,
Annie, some people can't afford to go to India, can they? Where are you going for your meal tonight? Oh, I'm going to Calcutta. No, thank you very much. You can't afford it.
No, and I don't want to get chased by rats. Oh. I can go to New York City and get that.
Good evening to all our New York City and Indian friends. This is Jimmy. Jimmy's views are his own. And not necessarily the views of the Toon Review.
The food is excellent, but I don't think there's a health and safety inspector in any of the restaurants.
Francisco, I believe you've got to leave us, unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah. I think you're just coming off the stream because you don't want to be arrested and associated with the rest of us. I understand that.
I'm gonna have to work on some disclaimer voiceovers just so you can play
Indeed,
them,
yes.
during this
as
show
soon
in
as
particular.
Jimmy, brilliant idea. Because as soon as Jimmy speaks, I can then hit a button which puts the Toon Review does not agree with Jimmy's comments. The Toon Review does not. Jimmy has his own comments. There are his own personal feelings, and not precisely the feelings of the Toon Review.
I'll make you a disclaimer for the start of the show that you can just flash up.
Oh yeah,
we'll collaborate on that, John.
Absolutely, it's always needed. But listen, Francisco, thank you for coming on, matey, and stay safe, and we'll speak soon, buddy.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Roy, big cheers on going with your word, buddy, and everybody have a great one. See you next week.
Yeah.
Good night.
See you, mate. We'll be back next week.
Got some news, Paul. I've got some news as Alex's favourite player.
Hang on. Go on then.
Alex's favourite player of the past, James Perch, has been sent off tonight.
Is he still playing?
He is, yeah. He was sent off for a second bookable offence, by all accounts, for Mansfield.
Bloody hell. I mean, how old's he now? 56?
Pacino.
I don't get what Alex talks about when he talks about Pacino. I didn't see it. I mean, Ian, what did you think of Pacino?
Shite.
Okay. Fez?
Sorry?
Were you around in the days of James Perch?
I probably was, but my memory's fucking awful. I'm getting old, so.
Not as awful as Perch.
Yeah. I like to think my memory wasn't too bad, but unfortunately, I do remember him.
It's got 4 years from me, so.
Jimmy, what did you think of Perch?
Hell, I was too busy watching shitty Americans. I don't have time for Europeans.
All right, okay, fair enough. Roy, what about you? Pacino, yes or a no from you?
Well, he was part of the cheap team that Ashley was building, and that's why you can't expect more from a player. How much was he? A couple of million, 4 million they bought him for.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was. Well, he's had a few good games and scored. I can't remember. Did he score against Arsenal once or Chelsea? Someone I can't remember. But
well, if he did, it came off his ass or something. I don't think he'd have deliberately put it in the net.
But yeah, shite in general.
Billy, what about you? I can't remember what you said about him. Did you agree or not agree with our good friend Alex?
I thought he was a fantastic squad member. Like, I thought he filled in anywhere wherever he played, he always put 120% in. He was a good defensive midfielder for us. He stopped the stopper, but as a fullback he wasn't great, to be honest. But I thought he did well at central defensive midfield.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, come on, go easy on Alex. He's not here to defend himself.
He'll be watching, don't you worry. He'll have a beady eye on this fan forum.
I mean,
I'm not having a go at Alex. I just don't know where he gets his love for Perch from.
This is Alex, okay? Every player. Well, you take Perch. He had an XG of 4, 3 quality nut scratches a game, and if you look at his heat map, I mean, I will say I have a better appreciation of statistics thanks to Alex.
Sorry. 3 quality nut scratches.
Hey.
Oh God!
I know. But
I thought you were talking about them squirrels again, Jimmy.
No,
don't get him started on squirrels.
We've already been to Animal Farm tonight. We're not going to do that again.
But yeah, with that being said, like, I wasn't much of a real stat person, but he's kind of got me interested a lot more analytics side of football. But
listen, one thing about that is, the feedback we've had on Alex doing the stats is absolutely brilliant because there's not a lot of channels that actually dive into the stats. They'll mention a couple of stats, but they don't have any graphic proof of anything. And I think that's what people like to see. They like to see how they're doing, stats wise. And certainly, with players that are sort of coming into the side or, potential signings for the club, it's good to have a look at how they're doing statistically and seeing how well they press or how well they do X, Y, or Z. It's very, very good. I don't think I've ever heard him say he got through 3 nut scratches in a game, though, to be fair.
Well, the one thing
Alex has been
about
missing
Alex
them.
is, one thing you can say about Alex is if he comes out with the stat and you don't agree with him, he'll just politely tell you to fuck off. And he does it in such a smooth way, you can't be mad at him.
No, can't be mad at our Alex, man. He's cool. Tony says, and this is why The Walking Dead was set in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, final episodes. Final episodes. Better watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of support for Jimmy in the comments. God forbid. Sean's saying that we need a 4 Horsemen special with Jimmy on. Well, I can guarantee that if that happened, Billy would be hosting that show, not me, because I ain't having no FBI turning up at my door.
That's like putting a rat in charge of the cheese ladder. No chance of that happening.
Don't mention cheese to Jimmy.
No.
Right. Good evening.
Why, aye, lads?
Hey,
we're going to win the Premier League, man.
He's learning.
Is that Chippers?
That was quite good.
Sound like Chippers.
Yeah. God help you to sound like him, but never mind.
Say man, like, or mind at the end of every sentence, and you sound Geordie.
You are an insulting motherfucker sometimes. Anyway, what did you think of the game on Sunday, Ryan?
Oh, it was pretty good. Like the first 10, 20 minutes, like Spurs looked like they had control of it and they're threatening, but we grabbed them by the chokehold, and I think we scored our 2 goals and played the game out. And I mean, Spurs, like I thought I had them second this season. I'm looking wrong for that one. Like I think Conte I don't think he has the right players. This tactics too. Like it's looking pretty rocky at Tottenham because someone like him goes, like we could easily overtake them in this big 6.
Tottenham really should be an attacking side. The players they've got at their disposal, they should be an attacking side. There's no doubt about that.
You know what I've heard? I heard an opinion once. It's like Spurs fans care more. Like they rather finish 8th and play the most attractive football rather than win like a trophy.
That's ridiculous.
That's true, though. Yeah, but it's true what you're saying.
Because I guess like the Pochettino era and like this champagne football that they had and stuff.
It's a lot more historical than that, Ryan. They've been like that for 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They've been like that for like Billy said, as long as I've known, it's never really changed. Tony says, I think Jimmy should do a charity song for Christmas, something like "Smack My Bitch."
Smack my bitch.
You don't have to sing it, right?
That's a great song.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching tonight. If you are enjoying this show, God knows why, but please do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see from Jimmy, please do subscribe. It is free to do so, and also the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. If you do want to donate to the channel, you can by hitting the super chat button at the bottom of the live comments. That will send you through there that way. So thank you in advance for that. And there's a few people asking for the merch advert, funny enough. I think they want to sing Jimmy's version.
Dying for it.
So let me just hop across. And here it is.
So let's get down to business.
I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it.
Let's get down to business.
I think basically everybody's going to come out with Jimmy's version of that when that happens at the end there. But thank you very, very much for that, Jimmy. It just no fez is the answer to that question. Vapes, yes, but not joints.
It's just cigarettes, not joints.
Or as you guys call them, fags.
Just wanted to see your reaction there when I said that.
Yeah, they call them fags in the UK, Jimmy.
Not in Atlanta. It's
blunt.
I'm just going to jump off for a quick cig then.
No bother, really. No bother. Nobody. No bother. Wow.
Love that guy.
Stephen says, be careful, Paul, when drinking your Pepsi tonight, Paul. That was a sheer joy on Friday. Well, it wasn't a joy for me. My nose was burning for about 3 hours after the show. I'm on Susan's got me on the strawberry water now, though, so I'm not allowed the Pepsi anymore. Apparently, I drink too much of it, so
Pepsi sucks.
I'm off it now.
Sound like my uncle.
Sugar-free water, which I have to say is quite nice. Simply because Susan's sitting behind the curtain, so I am not going to make a reference to strawberry water. It is beautiful and quenches my thirst. I don't want the Pepsi, Susan. Thank you. The Clone lad says, if you look at Lloris when he collided with Wilson, he stopped before he fell down, a complete dive. Geordie Rick says a different Toon channel was trying to say Wilson's goal shouldn't have stood.
That was never a foul.
Do you know them YouTube channels where they get loads of people's reactions, like live watch-along reactions in one? They showed this. They showed this one Irish one. Spurs fans. When Miggy scored, he went, "Oh, that's not even a good finish." To be fair, I hate to say
I was on that video, Jack. I was there.
You were
twice.
Yeah, his expressions was on there too. Whenever he's there, it's comedy.
My mouth dropped.
Fam.
Well, no, you know what I heard him say? He's like, the Geordies came to London. They wrapped a spliff and said, "Why I'm on."
Yep. Unapologetically Blue says, glad Newcastle fans can now raise their voices. Thank you very much. Angelica says, I swear to God, YouTube can bite my left nipple.
What's happened?
I daresn't ask. Ask. Jimmy, will you shut them animals up?
That's not me.
I think it's a plan.
Incidentally, Mikhailo Mudryk has scored for Shakhtar Donetsk.
Sorry, Billy?
Mikhailo Mudryk has equalised for Shakhtar Donetsk against Celtic. So that's another one we're linked with, isn't it, Mudryk?
Yeah, well, he's only playing the pub side, isn't he? So, he's bound to score against them.
Looks like Juventus are going to be playing Europa League football.
Yeah, it does actually, yes.
He just missed the penalty as well.
Yeah, missed penalty.
Yeah. Stephen says, don't laugh, guys, but I got 100-1 for us to win the title.
Fair play to you, mate. Yeah, that's
Listen, people did it for Leicester City and laughed, didn't they? But look what happened to Leicester. So, it's the way it goes. Carlos says, I love Annie's beard, or lack of. Well, sometimes Annie does come on the fan forum and he has a little fluff there. I mean, it's fluff, but it's there. Jules says, how many subs are we on now? Should we have a check, guys?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's just refresh that. 14,926.
We've got up 4 then.
Yeah. So it is going up. It's always we're very close to 15,000. Peter Proudlock, how are you doing?
Good. Yes.
How's life in Shea Proudlock?
All good.
And enjoy Sunday.
Yes, deserved the win. I really thought we did, and well worthy of the points as well. And we just look so good at the moment to watch out there. And it's great that we're sitting in a Champions League position as well.
Well, we certainly couldn't thought that this time last year. Just sitting there doing a fan forum thing. Oh, in 12 months' time, we'll be sitting in a Champions League position. You'd have never, ever, ever believed it. I mean, Annie, from the outside in, can you see Newcastle? I mean, you've said you can see us finishing 6th, but do you genuinely think we can make Europe?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, it won't be easy, but I think you have the quality in there. I think you have a good spine. Again, Nick Pope, Botman, Cher, Bruno Guimaraes, Isak when he comes back, Wilson as well. Maximan. I think you've got a good spine at least.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of players that potentially maybe could be improved upon, but overall, I'd say you have a team that could definitely challenge into getting those European positions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best person to ask this next question to is going to be Jimmy. So I think we should sit down, get some popcorn, and see what Jimmy has to make of this. What do you make of Richard Keys saying Newcastle should move to London if they want real success? Take it away, Jimmy.
Well, that son of a bitch needs to move to another one of his daughter's friends' bed if he's saying that. I mean, on top of it, he's standing, he's with Andy Gray, and most people know how I feel about Andy Gray anyway, so at least the ones that have seen me unloaded. So
I don't know how you feel about him, Jimmy.
Well, let me tell you, this is why I hate Everton.
Okay.
I was doing a production shoot up in New York, and he was one of the people on the production shoot back before his whole, comments and everything on Sky when he was still employed there. And afterwards, I'd worked with him for 10 hours that day. And so they had given us like all little soccer balls as part of something in our little gift baskets. And I just went up to him afterwards and said, yeah, then if I get this autograph? It was like, well, I'll sign it tonight at my autograph session, where he was charging $10 an autograph. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, I've been busting my hump all day for your no talent ass, and you want me to come pay $10 for a striker that really only had about 4 good years overall in his career? And you played for Scotland, so that right there tells me you weren't worth shit. So no. And all these moron Everton fans were just, they were in line, they had their little blue tops, and everybody kissing their ass. I was like, yes, you are the stupidest, most gullible fan base ever. May you all burn in hell. Thank you.
Say what you mean.
And that is why I still refer to you to this day as the Blue Turds.
So you don't agree with Richard Keys, and I gather that, Jimmy, that we should move our training ground to London?
No, and he's just and he's a pathetic human being anyway, so
Heavy
why?
hands.
Quite frankly, I prefer my single days when I went, I preferred the lovely, beautiful ladies of Newcastle in that area than some of the freak shows we saw in London.
Oh, Christ almighty.
So there.
Roy, what do you make of the comments he made? I mean, it's just ridiculous to move a training ground of Newcastle United to London.
The guy's a bellend, man. I've met him a few times here in Doha. He plays golf. He's shite at golf. I've seen him in. We do this thing on the weekend. We do the brunch thing on the weekend when you can drink as much as you want for 4 hours, and you see him after 4 hours.
Wow.
And next time, I'm gonna video it. So he's a proper bellend. He does it on purpose, by the way, because when you see him in normal, like out, he's okay. Oh yeah, you guys are good. You guys are this. Why not saying that on TV?
Yeah, you could see him, Roy. You could see him as he was saying it, smirking like a little tiny smirk, and it's just pathetic, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and you can see Andy Gray. But half of the time he's embarrassed. He just looks at him. Like, what did you say here? But he does it on purpose.
Well, that makes him more of an even bigger bell end for me. I mean, because if he hasn't got the balls to say the truth on camera, then what's the point? Because he's not. The only attention that he's getting is negative attention. And being called, things like Jimmy calls him. And it's like, but that. If he's known as that in America, he's going to start getting known as that around the world, and he's just making itself worse for that situation, to be honest.
Well, I've got news though.
Okay.
Saudi might buy some shares in BN Sports.
I've heard that. That was reported last week over here. I mean, that's a quite massive change given where those two companies were not long ago.
Yeah, so he's going to have a Saudi boss.
Yeah.
So his tone will completely flip 180 degrees then.
I mean, that's quite a surprise, isn't it? The beIN Sports suddenly being, took over by the Saudis, which you would never have thought of.
Yeah. No one thought, but they've got branches in Southeast Asia as well, and in East Europe and Turkey, like completely different channels. So they expanded. They're trying to compete with Sky and ESPN as well. So I think there might be some in the States too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Just to confirm as well, Roy, the situation with Iran. Can you just explain that? Because there was reports over here that Iran were going to be thrown out of the World Cup. What's actually happened?
Nothing has happened. Some ex-footballers sent some letters to FIFA asking for the team to be expelled from the World Cup because of human rights that are happening in Iran. Because you've seen all the riots happening for the last month.
Yeah.
And then there was news that Iran sold Russia some drones. So I can't believe this. Like, Iran is making drones and selling it to Russia. But it turns out it was true, though. But it was before the Ukrainian war. But you can't mix politics with sport. So
exactly.
I spoke to the club president today. I told him about this. He said it will never happen because Iran's got good relations with FIFA and they've got a women's football team playing. I mean, they're covered, but the team's playing. Women are allowed to watch football now there with limited numbers. So they're trying to fix it up. I mean, everybody knows the government, a bunch of thieves hiding behind religion and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to know. But the other problem Iran's got is some of the players have gone against the government. So I'm not sure if they're going to get picked or not, or Carlos Queiroz going to pick them or not. See what happens. I mean, if they expelled, I'm going to give my tickets back to FIFA. I'm not going to go, not watching it. Well, I might keep the England one.
Those players that wrote FIFA are probably from Scotland. Because that's the only way they're getting at.
It's a couple of ex-players, and one of them moved out. He lives in Dubai, Ali Karimi, and the thing is, football makes those people happy, and they want to see the team do well, even if the government will make the meal out of it and say, "Look what we've done," but they haven't spent that. The government has not spent a penny on that football team. It's all this local talent. The good ones leave and go and play in Europe, and that's how they've got a good team. But there's nothing. They do nothing for the team, unfortunately, and it's just talent.
Fez, what did you think about Richard Keys?
Oh,
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
You, you saw what I said in the live stream.
Yeah.
I can't repeat it now, but like, nah, just.
Well, given
it's
what Jimmy said, you can say anything you like on this show. To be fair,
Nah, absolute ignorance from him. I've never liked the guy, to be honest. It's all the controversy with what happened with him, like way back. He's just an arsehole, basically.
Can I just quickly ask Roy, like, what type of players, like, are these like important players that have stood up, like the current players have stood out against the government? Because I saw like I saw a Hull player, Elias Seidmanesh, who stood out and competed against the government, basically.
Yeah, he's one of them. Sada Azmoun, who plays for by Leverkusen, he's one of them. A few of the ones play in Iran as well, and well, most of them just changed the Instagram logo just to a black background, nothing else. So without saying anything, Ali Dai, have you heard of him? He's probably the best. His passport was confiscated for a couple of days as well. But see, the thing is, in Iran, if they touch these players, the country will go mad, because for them he's like a god there.
Mhm.
So he just walks around and just gives them the finger, and they can't do anything to him.
it is starting to become a little unrest. They're getting really unrestful over there at the minute.
Yeah, it changed through the students in 1979, and I think the young ones are the ones who will change it again.
Mhm.
The thieves, you should see how much properties they've got in Dubai and in Europe, and they've got the beard and they're hiding behind it, and they've got young kids all over the world using the government money.
Well, you're certainly not doing that anymore, Mr. Kaviani.
Well, my grandfather was in prison for a couple of years. He used to work. Yeah, he used to work for the Iranian embassy in Lebanon, Ethiopia, and then Oman.
Bloody hell.
And then when the revolution happened, he went back in 1980, and within a couple of days he was in prison. Why? Because he worked with the Shah and nothing else. Confiscated.
This is the Ayatollah. This is the Ayatollah's regime, isn't it? We're talking about.
Yeah, they confiscated all his properties and stuff. They let him go afterwards, but I mean, they used to arrest him and then put him in a room, not say anything for him, and then at 6 o'clock say, "I can go back home now." And then they kept doing this, just like a mental torture. They never harmed him or anything, but it was. Well, anybody who worked with the old regime was.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Toon Review is a historical channel as well. By the way, if you join us tonight, welcome to the Toon Review History channel. We do talk about all sorts. We have various people on here. We've got a King of Qatar. We've got, Jimmy. We've got the spoon seller. You know, I mean, the people do everything. And actually, Peter, Leonardus's Proudlock's webcam makes him look like a 70s Eastern European football reporter.
Right.
That's
Me name is Borat.
or hello, here I am saying good evening to the Eurovision Song Contest. I don't actually know what accent that was. I was creeping a bit into Russian, but I thought let's not go there. So, you know. Yeah. Tony says Keys actually said that it rains too much in Newcastle. It's one of the dirtiest cities in the UK, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he's
Driest, not dirtiest, it says.
Yeah,
driest.
It didn't say dirty, it said driest.
Okay, it's my eyes. I do apologise.
If Saudi do buy beIN Sports, I hope they keep Richard Keys on, because I've got a chance of bumping into him if he comes back here. So I used to bump into him all the time in Coventry. What an absolute arsehole he is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if he gets sacked, I'll be at the airport waiting for him.
No, I'll be the wait airport. This end waiting for him with a fucking box of eggs.
Yeah.
Well, the Toon Review does not advocate violence. Jimmy is a legend. Definitely would like to chat over a pint with this guy. Larry's actually dying. Don't die, Larry, please. Jack says, I wish I'd started watching from the beginning. He sounds like a right hoot. Well, Jimmy either sounds like a hoot, a squirrel, or a chicken. So
yes,
he has
many
voices.
Or a foul-mouthed Catholic boy, which I am.
Indeed. Right. We'll briefly touch on Villa at the weekend, of course. This rivalry that we have, I don't know where it's come from, but we have a rivalry. Of course, the Villa fans bring it all on themselves with the pathetic things that they come out with sometimes. And I don't mean all Villa fans, if there's any watching, because I know some do subscribe to this channel. Some of them that come out and just sort of try and get one up over Newcastle all the time. The one I saw today saying that Unai Emery turned down Newcastle and he signed for Villa because they're a much bigger club. I don't understand where the sense is in that. I think the fact is he'll fail there. I'm not very confident that he'll do very well at Villa, to be honest, and I think the fans will turn on him very, very quickly. But each to their own. Let them have them 5 minutes in the spotlight, because it's the only 5 minutes they're going to have this season. Do we win the game comfortably, Jack?
If we get a goal in the first half, I do. Because when we get a goal in the first half, that's when we really get going.
Yeah.
Like against Tottenham, that first Wilson goal got us going. But I think we could win it comfortably. Because Villa, right now, probably the best time we can play Villa. Because they've only just started regrouping, but with the form Newcastle's on recently, I don't think that Aston Villa will get a touch on Newcastle, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I think Newcastle will overpower them at home as well, which is huge. I think we'll win that game. Maybe not comfortably, but I think we'll win it.
Ryan, what do you reckon?
I think we should beat them comfortably, to be honest. Like, there's no reason why we can't beat majority of teams throughout the world, to be honest, let alone the Premier League. And yes, Aston Villa, they had you could say a manager bounce, being Brentford 4-0, but I think they're poor again Brentford was poor again. And obviously the players just probably felt like they got released off the shackles from Steven Gerrard, but I don't think that'll change the approach to the game, and I think we should win pretty comfortably, if I'm honest.
I think they'll get one shot on target, that's all.
Yeah, and hopefully just one shot. Well, listen, it's something we've been renownedly good at in the last few games, is keeping shots to a minimum. And the shots that do come in, we're forcing them to shoot from 30, 35 yards, which most of them seem to just balloon over the bar. Is there any player, Peter, that you worried about in the Villa side?
Danny Ings, for me, he can't score goals. And he will be slightly confident after getting two.
Well, he likes a goal against us as well.
He does like a goal against us, but I don't see why we can't keep him at bay. The same with Watkins as well, because of how good we are at the back now.
Yeah, absolutely.
How we've been. And
so let's do it. Let's get predictions in. Ian, we'll start with you, man. Prediction for Villa on Saturday and the goal scorers.
3-1. Wilson's getting one, definitely. Because once he scores one, he always scores one the next game. He goes on a little run, doesn't he? I think Big Joe's due one. Since he seems to hit the bar and the post with his headers is quite regular. I think Big Joe will get one. And give Bruno one.
Nice.
That'll be my prediction. Can I just say before I shoot off?
Absolutely.
I failed for the first time this year to get a ticket for a home match. For Chelsea. So if anyone's got a Chelsea ticket, I'll buy it off them.
Good luck.
Message Paul. I've got loads of money.
Right. Thanks for coming on, Ian.
Cheers,
Take
lads.
care, mate.
See
you soon, buddy.
See you.
Right. Who is going to be next? Annie.
I don't see it as straightforward as you guys maybe think.
Why did I have a feeling you were going to say that?
I do think Villa will cause a few issues. I don't think it'll be enough to win, but I do think they'll sneak a draw here. I do think that they have got some very good attacking quality. I mean, once it starts ticking, it will genuinely be a force to be reckoned with for any club.
Oh, my fat ass. It's Aston Villa, Annie, not Barcelona, a strike force to be reckoned with. Only one.
Messi, Luis Suarez, Coutinho.
Coutinho done this
But the
season?
Coutinho's
fucking
been
thing
benched.
is done.
Probably not going to start.
Coutinho's done sod all.
Yeah, he's not even going to start Coutinho.
Probably not going to start.
I was
An attacking force to be reckoned with.
I was
Annie,
joking.
come on.
I was joking. You'll win comfortably. You'll be 2-0.
Yes, Annie. I
There
knew I
you
could
go,
turn you
that's
around with
more
my
like
rage.
Just need to wind you up a bit. Just need to wind that up.
Well, it
I've done
worked.
it all. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Who's going to score, Annie?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like Joe Willock will get one.
Well, he's due one, to be fair.
I don't know. Chris Wood off the bench. Let's go for it.
No!
Never happened, that man.
No.
Why would you stay, Annie?
Off. Red card. Off.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you for coming on, Annie. We'll see you next time, and you take care, buddy.
See you, mate.
See you later, matey. Good night. I
Annie.
love Annie. I love him to bits. Right, Mr. Proudlock.
I'm going to say 3-1 Newcastle. Just
Yes.
because they've come off the win doesn't mean that it's going to happen again to us, really, because look at the way we're playing. We don't fear any side at all now, and we're going for these games now. And I can see us definitely beating Villa on Saturday. 3-1, goal from Wilson, and Miggy's going to get 2.
Wow. That would be ace if Miggy gets another 2.
Love it.
And by the way, our preview show of the game on Thursday night, we have a very, very special guest. And Billy, would you like to tell everyone who that is?
Yeah, we've got an ex-Aston Villa player joining us on Thursday. A West Midlands footballing legend, actually. He's played for Coventry City, West Bromwich Albion, Villa, Bristol Rovers, also Queen's Park Rangers in the Premier League, and Sheffield Wednesday. The one and only Gary Thompson, who also played for England 21s in the 80s. So, cracking bloke, good mate of mine, and he's coming to join us to speak for Villa because he's summarised on Radio WM, sort of like John Anderson, but for Villa.
So basically, as Jimmy would say, he's a presenter on Radio Cheese.
Can I come on?
I don't think that'd be a good idea, Jimmy. Mate, I'd have you on any other time, but not there.
It's
Right,
all
Pete?
chalk and cheese.
Indeed. Thanks for coming on, Peter.
No
See
problem.
you soon, buddy.
And I'll see you Saturday.
Cheers, mate.
You won't see me Saturday, mate. I'm unfortunately not there.
Oh.
It's Lily's birthday, so I'm spending it with the fam.
No problem.
So I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit, of course, and you know, but it's the one game I'll miss. But,
No problem.
I'm sure the rest of the fans will just give Villa hatred in my absence. I'm sure. But anyway, I'll catch you soon, buddy.
See you, Paul.
Take it easy,
See
man.
you, man.
Right, Fez, come on then. Your first ever prediction.
Well, I've got my dad sitting on Messenger telling me to say it's going to be a draw based on stats and past games. But no, I fancy 3-1 as well, to be honest.
Yes.
I think Willock's due. I've been saying it for the last 3 or 4 games. Willock's due a goal. I think Miggy will probably get another one, and I think Wilson will get one.
Spot on. Hopefully you're right, mate. Right.
Yeah.
I'll speak to you soon when you get back off your fishing trip, mate. And we'll get some more graphics design. But thanks for coming on, mate, and I'll speak to you
No worries,
shortly.
man. Cheers,
See
man.
you, bud. Good night.
See you later, guys.
Good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Top man is Fez. Absolutely top man. Right, Jack.
I'm going to go with a 2-0 Newcastle.
Confidence. And a 0 score. I like it.
Yeah, we're also going to get a clean sheet. I don't think how Aston Villa could score unless they.
Well, if you're talking to Annie, they've got a very, very, very prolific strike force.
Oh, BS! Don't listen to that. I'm going to go Miggy 2. Why not?
Wow. Okay.
He's got the
Right.
confidence.
Thanks for. Yeah. Exactly. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Speak to you
No
soon.
problem.
Hey,
Good night.
See you soon. Bye.
Good night. Come on then, Jimmy.
Oh God. Newcastle 2, Newcastle sloppy seconds 0. Since I mean that was basically they took everybody we were interested in during the summer. So
Yeah.
or so
Who's going to score?
I just don't. Mickey Holland won, and
Mickey Holland
and Wilson.
Yep, same two again.
Yeah.
That'll do us. Right, Jimmy, thank you for coming on and entertaining us with your words of wisdom, my friend. And we'll see you next time. You stay safe and healthy out there.
Okay.
See you,
All right.
Jimmy.
Thank you.
Good night,
See you,
buddy.
Jimmy.
Wow. I mean, is he just absolute? What a guy! What a guy! Ryan, you came on late tonight, man. Are you looking a bit rough there? Are you hungover or COVID? Your mic's off as well, so you
Yeah. I had like a huge fever at the end of my work day, and then like I fell asleep for like an hour or so, and like I have a bad cold. Like it's awful.
Yeah. Have you done a COVID test?
Yeah, I'm negative. I did it last night, but I got COVID 2 years ago, so I'm.
Well, you can get it again, matey. Don't you worry about that. I would do another one today if you've had a fever. Whoa. You give me fever. COVID.
Fever.
Yeah. It's not nice. I got it the second time, knocked me for 6, to be honest. So I will get checked again, matey. Get another test done. You just never know.
Well, we have self-tests here, and like my mom stuck this little thing up my nose, and like,
Oh, yep. It's we've got them here. Don't you worry. It's awful.
Swabs or whatever.
Yeah, we had to swab the back of our throats and then up our noses. Oh, delicious. Yeah. Not too well. No, Billy. That's not the COVID test we did. I don't know about your COVID test, but it certainly wasn't that. That's a little scary, actually.
Must be something else. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Stu says, get well soon, Canadian Prince.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I got a strong immunity.
Exactly. Get some vitamin C in you. That's what you need. Right. Thanks for coming on, matey, and get well soon, buddy. And I'll speak to you soon.
Hold on, I gotta do my prediction.
Oh shit! Oh, you have. It's just the rough look. I just thought you wanted to get off the camera and get back to bed. Go on then.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Newcastle. I think Almiron will get 1, Callum Wilson will get 2, and I think John McGinn will score for Villa.
Well, I hope you're wrong. I hope he doesn't score. It'd be amazing if we can keep them out. Go for more clean sheets.
Yeah.
Jim says, "Hey Ryan, there is a blight in Ontario, and you are not alone with that."
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's like 5 degrees last week, and we get hit with like 20-degree weather. Like, I'm not a fan of that. Like, when it goes from hot to cold, like I'd rather be consistent. Like, I think that might be the issue with me, and like a bunch of people at work are wearing masks too, so it's scary hours.
Yeah, indeed. Right. Well, thanks for coming on, buddy, and we'll see you next week. A bit more fighting fit.
Yeah.
See you,
Good night,
guys.
mate. See you, right, Mr. Potato Head.
Aye. I've got some news as well, financial news, and it's good.
All right.
FIFA are going to pay each club $10,000 a day for each player during the World Cup, but it's minimum of 18 days each. So we've got 5 players currently, including Botman if he gets picked. So that's $50,000, which is about £45,000 a day.
Wow!
For each player. So you'll get a minimum of $180,000 for each player in the World Cup. That's if they get knocked out in the first round, and then it keeps going. The total money FIFA given is $209 million to different clubs. Yeah, it goes up as the team progresses. So we've got Bruno. Hopefully, his team goes far. Trippier and Pope. Botman if he gets picked, and Fabian Shaw. That's the 5 I think.
Well, let's also hope Joe Linton makes it, or Callum Wilson makes it. You know,
I think Callum Wilson's got a great
hope Callum Wilson gets there as well. So that's good. Yeah, we got I'm doing the Al Arabi one, so you'll have to wait until the 23 the final list.
The squad comes out. Yeah,
and then
absolutely. Right, good. Give us your score, Mr. Cav.
I saw Villa as well that last game, so I watched it again. I'm gonna go 2-1, really tight.
Okay.
I'm hopefully Willett could score and Wilson. And if we do win that game, Eddie Howe is going to be manager of the month.
He has to be. He has to be.
If
If
you
he's
lose,
not,
then
then I would ask questions, definitely.
yeah, if we lose, then they'll have to look at other games. Pep lost, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure which other team kept going this month without losing.
Definitely. Right. Well, thank you for coming on, Roy, and thank you for
Cheers,
going
mate.
through with your shave. Incredible. I mean, the amount of lookalikes that we've had for you tonight are quite dramatic, to be fair. There is a lot of lookalikes for you. So thank you for coming on, matey, and we'll speak very, very soon.
Cheers, mate. See you
Good night.
guys.
Hey,
Good night,
Roy.
buddy.
Hello, buddy.
So there you go. That was Roy. So there you go. That was Fan Forum for tonight. Let's just say it was a bit of a giggle, as it normally is when Jimmy comes on. Listen, I'll tell you what, if you're feeling a bit low or feeling a bit down and Jimmy comes on, you cannot do anything but laugh. The guy, he speaks his mind, he speaks how he feels, and he speaks openly and honestly. And for that, we'll always be grateful for Jimmy. He's just a wonderful guy, as all the Fan Forum are. Everyone that comes on every week, it is fantastic. Good bit of banter, good bit of laugh, good bit of football chat. It's just like hanging around, having a pint with your mates. And that's what the Fan Forum is all about, of course, from all places around the world, which is, Puerto Rico, Qatar, Atlanta, Georgia, which is a little place in America where strange things happen. So it's great to go around the world and chat to everybody, all the Newcastle fans. So if you have liked tonight's show, guys, as usual, please do hit that like button for us and help us move up those search results on YouTube and tell them something fabuloso is going on this channel. And also, if you're new and you like what you see and you haven't already done so yet, please do hit the subscribe button. Come and be part of this fantastic Toon Review community. It's free to do so. And also hit that bell, which will notify you when we upload or we go live. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you do wish. Hit the join button just underneath the video. If you're on iOS, you will have to go to a desktop version of the Toon Review or YouTube, and go and join that way. Thank you to all the super chatters tonight. Of course, you can become a member of the Facebook group. I think we're just under 2,000 members now, which is fantastic. You can follow us on Instagram and, of course, on Twitter at the Toon Review. Billy's on there as well, which is just, what is it, Billy at Billy Trey TTR something, is it?
On Twitter. It's that Billy Trey, I think.
At Billy Trey. There you go. There you go. Right. That is it. Thank you to the mod squad as per usual. Thank you for your company tonight, Billy. There won't be any show tomorrow. We were going to do a Howie the Lasses show, but unfortunately, my memory again, the Lily's performing in a play tomorrow, so we're all going to watch her tomorrow night. So it's a night off for the Toon Review. There may well be a video during the day because, well, let's face it, it's Newcastle United. There's always news. But we'll be back on Thursday night with the preview. And, of course, Gary Thompson, very, very special guest. And that should be a cracking show, talking all things Aston Villa and, football with him. So that should be a great show. But until then, guys, keep your eyes open for any videos. And we'll see you back live on Thursday night. But until then, good night, guys.
How are the lads and lasses?